Alrighty, it is a Monday. Hope you had a nice holiday week and kind of the whole thing. A lot of folks had the whole week off, and the weather was awesome. I mean, right? It was really good, especially since we had all that heavy rain. If you remember the week prior, record rainfall in Santa Rosa, record rainfall in parts of the North Bay, a lot less rain south, but we still got a couple inches of rain in the Central Bay area. So we're all doing really well for rainfall, which is great. And that's good because the long-range models are trending pretty dry for Northern California, or for at least Central California where we are. We've got valley fog to talk about, and we got this to talk about. We've got some pretty significant surf. This is when you issue a beach advisory, by the way. National Weather Service, I think they run on a different set of metrics than the rest of us do. They probably do have a beach advisory, I think, further north. But you got a couple swells running. You got a west swell, you got a southwest swell, and you got a north swell. It's not giant, but it's big. Like if you go, hey, Bill, you surf this? Like I could go today. I'm not. I mean, I could, but like there's a little, if every once in a while you'll pick out, there's a little speck right here. There's a guy. It doesn't look that big, but there's somebody's out right in here. But the way to look too is, there he is right there. But you see the lip, how long it takes to hit? You can count the seconds. If you can count from when this wave starts to break, right, 1, 2, 3. For the lip hits the other side, so when it throws out, that's a big wave. It's just big. It's like, and it's Ocean Beach where there's 0 channels. If you want to see a rip tide, there's a couple rip currents going on here. See the water moving this way? That's a side shore rip for sure. See everything kind of working its way in? And then once you get to about here, well, it's camera switched on me. There's a sideways rip, and there's a you can get pulled out right here, and there's a guy right, if you look real hard, right there. I know, it's hard to see. Anyway, the surf's pretty good size. One of the interesting things about this surf, though, is here's Mavericks. There's the buoy. There's Mavericks, and it's barely showing. Tide's high. It's up around 5-6 feet. It'll show this afternoon, but Mavericks, you see how that bump's just showing up? It's trying to find the bottom. So Mavericks is probably, they're calling the beach 6 to 8 foot today, which is more of a Hawaiian measurement. I think the beach is more likely 10 foot on the faces, which I think is big, truthfully. When I was younger, right? But anyway, this is Steamer Lane. That's fun size. That's probably, I'd call that 6 foot. Even though, see how it's the wave is over his head, and he's probably 5 feet. It looks like it's maybe an 8 foot face. So there's a difference between, I don't want to get into wave heights. It's a lot. Well, I will get into it. Because the weather, again, we got nice weather coming. Valley fog in the mornings. But the wave heights thing started in the 50s when the Gidget thing was going. And all the Californians thought they could surf, right? And the Hawaiians and all the Californians go, we got to go to Hawaii to prove ourselves. This is in the 50s. Probably even before that. And they would go over, and the Hawaiians would go, see the biggest surf they'd ever seen. Places like Makaha were really popular back then, before the North Shore. And they would go over, and they would and go, oh my God, this is 20 foot. And the Hawaiians go, no, that's 5 foot. That's 8 foot. They would always, and they still do, the Hawaiians will undercall surf size. It's kind of a machismo thing. It's kind of works too, because what they're really measuring, what we always were taught to measure, the back of the wave. Not the front where it's sucking out, but the back of the wave is the height of the wave. So the wave goes by you, you paddle up over a 20-foot monster, and you look back, and the back of the wave is about 10 feet, because the front is where it's sucking out. So that's kind of how it got going. There was kind of the Hawaiians going, hey, Holly, don't come over here. You don't want none of this. And it still carries on today. And Surfline sort of has made adjustments for that, but when they call the surf 10 foot, it's interesting. The regions they tend to call, they'll call Southern California 10 foot when the Hawaiians would call it 5 foot. But then they will call Northern California or Mavericks 10 foot when the Hawaiians would call it 10 foot. So it's just an interesting throwback. Okay, here's the valley fog. I love this. This is the, let me see if I scoot you a little bit more. Like this, maybe. There we go. And then you see the fog. See how it contours the bottom? And by the way, that's where Tulare Lake is, or was, or would be again. That's right, was the largest lake west of the Mississippi before they dammed, I think it was the Pine Flat Dam. Oops, just changed pictures. The Bureau of Water Reclamation, for flood control, they said it was, but then they basically gave all these farmers down here access to this you could take a boat, Bakersfield to Sacramento in the 1800s at times during some of those big rains. So think about that, right? So anyway, here's where the lake would be. That's the low-lying spot. That's why the valley fog's there. I'll get into water rights some other time, but it's really, this is where they grow a lot of cotton. J.G. Boswell, if you read King of California, and it was, it got settled a lot by Southerners after the Civil War because the boll weevil came in, killed all the, munched on the cotton. The Southerners' way of life had changed because the war had ended and they had lost. And so a lot of them moved out here because they go, this is perfect cotton growing land, bottomland. And so there you go, a little bit of history. And then just some clouds. Okay, so moving forward, again, different shot, same idea, more detail. This is the Sierra Nevada, obviously, and that is the snow. Awesome amounts of snow. And it's interesting, look, okay, so there's Tahoe. And you're like, okay, yeah, we got good snow. Look how much down here, central southern Sierra Nevada. And that has a lot to do with the moisture. When you get subtropical, you get your higher moisture content is going to be on an atmospheric river will often be in the southern zones because the atmospheric river has a mid-latitude or low-latitude fetch. So look at this snow. It looks like Mammoth has doubled the snowfall that we've seen in the northern Sierra Nevada. So, and then these are high clouds. You can see the shadows coming off those. Okay, so this is your surface map. This is your visible satellite that I put up in my links. So there you go. There you have it. Okay, San Francisco, there's the valley fog concern. I think you can see that. A freezing fog up around Reno. I don't know if you can see that one. This is this morning. I'll move through it because it doesn't really shoot. This is off Mount Tamalpais. Just beautiful, 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 beautiful. And then I think we got up around Palisades. This is the top of Siberia. It's a ski lift. And you can see there's snow, but they're not crushing it. I mean, they're crushing it for Thanksgiving. But you see rocks. When you see rocks, when you see these smaller trees, you definitely are not buried. We can take a peek at the highway. This is Castle Peak, eastbound 80. And there's some snow on the side of the road. But again, I'm not overwhelmed, but I'm not underwhelmed either. It's kind of awesome because it is early in the year. Let's take a look at this. I love all these live cameras. And then here is Kingvale. So, and folks, in those lucky enough to be skiing today, like who gets to do that on a Monday? When I was a kid, my dad's a veterinarian. When I was a kid, my dad used to take Wednesdays because that was the thing. The doctors would take Wednesdays off and go ski or not really surf back then, but ski. Okay, here's a long-range model. You see it right here. And here's California. I'll put a circle around it. And we're just going to click through. And you see a lot of scud, a lot of greens, but none of it's high-powered stuff. It's a cutoff low. It's back wrap moisture. It's going to be just more clouds like we've been seeing. We'll get a little bit of a pulse right here. See this little pulse right here? Kind of clicking through. But it's on. If you look, see this ridge? See how it kind of goes up and down. Those lines, those black lines represent the jet stream, essentially. So that the core would be in the middle of the black lines where they're closer together. But anyway, the outer edge of the jet stream is pushing clouds in our direction. And so I keep going. You're like, well, where's the rain? There's a little tweak there, but that's nothing. It's at the top of the ridge. That'll be dry, or would be dry in that case. And then so nothing. And then right here, somewhere around 10th, like I said, yeah, the model's been pretty consistent, somewhere around the 10th or 11th. It's still a ridge, but overrunning moisture. That'll get us something, inside slider. So around the 10th of December, we should see some kind of a change. Okay, a lot of things I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to keep it too long today. The sunsets this week last week were insane. The sunsets this week are going to be insane. Grandpa came and visited. He's 97. He was awesome. Slowing down a little bit. I gave him one of my beers. Which is all he needs is like a half a beer, but he hung in for like 3 hours, so he did really good. I know you guys. Thanks for asking about him. Checked out the Great Highway. That was cool. Beautiful the week, and this whole week will be nice as well. So be careful. Keep an eye on the surf. The swell does drop tomorrow and the next day, and then spikes back up, kind of where it is again today. So it's surfable, but not if you got a wave storm. Just stay home, man. You don't know. If you get the Costco wave storm, it's kind of it's a thing in surfing, right? These big foam boards, and they're fun. They're awesome. It's a great way to get out and play around, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to take your wave storm out to next. Yeah, I wouldn't take it out this whole winter at Ocean Beach, actually. Okay, the 5-day forecast is up. That's it. Have a good day.